Interesting stories. Interesting people. Welcome to the Humble Badger Podcast.
Thank you for listening to this podcast today. Remember to like and follow us at The Humble Badger on Twitter and Facebook, or at The Humble Badger Podcast on Instagram. This episode is brought to you with the help of our promotional partners at The Studio Paint Bar. I always say that you come for the paint and you stay for the bar. It is a heck of a facility. Check them out. They're at 80 Port Street or 123 Lakeshore. Either one will work. Check out thestudiopaintbar.ca for more information. My name is Pablo Dawson. I am an event host and an MC and the host for this episode of the Humble Badger Podcast. As you know, we like to start off things with random information. So I'd like to give you some random information that I did not know, despite the fact that I consider myself a proud Canadian. Somebody asked me the other day, what is the longest river in Canada? And I was just completely stumped because I don't really think of Canada as having a lot of rivers. You think of Canada as having lots of lakes, certainly. I'm not sure if I would have not necessarily gotten the largest lake right. It's probably the Great Bear Lake or some lake like that out in Alberta. But they asked me what the longest river was. I didn't know. And it turns out it is the Mackenzie River, mostly contained within the Northwest Territories. I certainly did not know that. I'd like to know what our co-host, if he knew that.
I had no idea, not going to lie. I'm not really a river person. Hello, I'm Hio Del Guapo. You can call me Chris. I am a singer, a cartoonist, and I'm proud to say that I no longer live in a van down by the river.
That's right. You don't have to live in a van down by the river, but you say you're not a river person. Is that what river people are? They're all living in vans down by the river?
I mean, I couldn't say because I've never been a river person.
Yeah. I guess this is my Ontario bias, but really the only river I know of is the St. Lawrence, right?
Like, I was going to say the Credit.
Well, the Credit? Yeah, well, you're really keeping it real
right.
With the Credit. All the famous rivers in the Great White North, and you picked the Credit River in Mississauga. It's more of a creek, isn't it?
I mean, technically, if you look at it, yes, but it says Credit River, so I'm going to call it a river.
Fair enough.
If it wants to be called a river, I will call it a river.
Well, I can tell you that our guest certainly knows about rivers of the North, or northern rivers, or the River North.
Yes, that is true. My name is Heather Christine, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm also very happy to be in a duo with my husband, Matt Zaddy. And we are called River North. But really, I think we're talking more about the spirit of the river and how the river is always changing. The current of the river is always changing. So I can tell you from that standpoint a little bit about the spiritual state of the river, as opposed to the geographical rivers.
Well, technically, the Mackenzie River is in the Northwest Territories.
That's right.
Pretty far north.
Yes.
So
I thought the band name came from when they were stuck in the Mackenzie, like maybe years ago or something. Hey. That's not where it came from?
No, actually, I found a book of poetry a few days ago, and I was looking in the back, and we were brainstorming names of our band. We were on a drive, I recall, and there were just a few different names. And I remember that one it just stuck to us, of like River North. Mm-hmm. We're a northern band, and we're two rivers that flow together, because my husband's a very talented singer-songwriter. He does his own thing. He performs as a solo artist and with his various diverse, talented, colleagues. And then I do my own original shows and Patsy Cline things and different projects. And then we flow together to do River North as our duo. So,
but Matt Zaddy is not on this program right now. We hope to have him on at some point. But having said that, we're glad that you're here, Heather Christine. You can follow her at heatherchristine.ca. Please tell us a little bit about your solo music. What kind of genre, if you want to be defined like that, and what are your inspirations for your music?
Sure. So I'm a professional singer-songwriter and performing artist, creative, based out of Mississauga, and I'm so happy and grateful to have performed to audiences of over 25,000 people. And I have several years of experience touring, doing tribute shows, and performing with my husband, Matt Zaddy. And of course, last year, 2019, was a very, very special year. I'm really grateful and humbled to have launched my very first debut record, featuring all original songs that I wrote about the power of love after coming through a really dark time in my life, and just falling in love and feeling that amazing pulse of creative vitality. And this record was featuring all original songs, and it was actually produced and recorded right here with Anthony Panacci, the very talented teacher and pianist and producer. We created this record here together in his Trax Ahead studio, and he was able to call in some of his very talented colleagues, some top of the heap jazz players, including Mark Kelso, Tony Zorzi. We had John Johnson on sax and amazing Colin Barrett on bass. So this was a creative collaboration, an original, musical piece that we produced last year, and it did really well. It's currently being played on Jazz FM, yay, and on Wave 94.7. And as well, we had a lot of support out of Spain, which came out of left field, a station in...
It went number one there, I believe.
It did. In February 2019, we were featured on Smooth Jazz Sitges, which is a program run out of a Barcelona radio station, and they put it at number one, which was such a freaking honor. And I didn't have anyone really promoting the album, or it was just done totally independently. So to have someone in Spain find it, I actually should shout out my friends in Spain, Cipri Pernas. Thank you so much, Cipri and Silvia Raposo. They found the product and are still helping to play the music to this day and supporting it. So that was a beautiful experience.
The album's name is Love in Color, and you can get more information on where to purchase it at her website, heatherchristine.ca. I'm going to ask you a controversial question, I think, to ask most musicians. They always say that, well, the songs are like my children. And when I ask them, well, what is your favorite song? And they say, well, all the songs are like my children. But let's not kid ourselves. Everybody has favorite children. Which is your favorite song of yours?
Okay, they're not my children. I think, first of all, like my art is not my baby.
Right.
I feel like these were different creations that I wrote at different times in my life, going through different things. So the songs that I'm into will actually change depending on where I am right now in my life. And the number one song right now that I'm totally loving, and I hope to release a video for it, is a song that I actually wrote for my generation. We're millennials, and it's called Our Time Has Come.
Oh.
And it's a song of empowerment, and it's a song basically saying to all of my creative peers in Mississauga, let's step up. Our time has come. We've done our homework. We have paid our dues.
I suppose we could swear this is for adults only,
Right?
so that's fine.
I was passionate. I was just saying.
She was very passionate. You should see it.
I was just saying, our time has come. We have put in the hard work. We have put in all those thousands of hours and done the gigs. So our time has come. Sing it, own it. And that's really the song that resonates with me so much. And when I sing it, I feel so inspired. It just is a great feeling.
Oh, it definitely is a great song. I love all the songs actually on the album as well. I know my personal favorite at the moment is Touched by You, the duet with Matt.
Blessed by You.
Blessed by You, yes. I'm sorry.
You love the song so much, but you forgot the name?
I did. I just had a moment.
Blessed by You.
Well, you know what? Chris is an amazing singer. Maybe Chris can sing a little bit.
You know what? That actually...
You can cover it.
You know what? I probably
there, you got
will.
the permission right here on the Humble Badger podcast.
There you go. So look for that coming soon to my Instagram. I think,
I would be so honored.
I think I will. Actually, that leads into my question. So I have a day job. I work at a bank, and the past 2 years, the office has sort of thrown a big sort of Christmas thing, and the entertainment actually was the River North Duo the past couple of years. So this year, they kind of let me jump on stage for a little bit. I appreciate that.
I love hearing you.
Well, they had no
sing.
choice after you just railroaded the stage, right?
Oh no, I just sat there and Matt's like, "Do you want to sing?" And I'm like, "I'd love to." So, of all the people to ever crash your performances, which one's your favorite?
Oh my goodness, to crash our performances. I gotta be honest.
Wait, this happens more than one?
Well, I gotta tell you something. I admire mentors of mine that are open and are kind to younger artists coming up. And I vow to myself, I don't care what happens in my career, how many good things happen, how many bad things happen, I will not end up bitter and jaded. And I will always support and encourage my fellow artists. And in my life, so many times I have met artists that I admire, and I would come up to these people and be like, oh my God, you're you. And my whole life, I loved your music and it inspired me. And I would be like disappointed with people having bitter attitudes or just like not supportive to the young ones coming up. And I think I see it like we're all part of this beautiful wheel when you're in the arts. So either we're learning, we're teaching, we're blossoming in our careers, then we're maybe teaching others. We're all part of this beautiful wheel. So I feel like there's so many young ones coming up to me that are looking to me for encouragement. And yes, I will always encourage those ones. And I certainly love and value mentors ahead of me that have supported me, who have opened doors for me, who have let me perform on their stages. And I always want to be like that. I never want to close a door. I never want to be competitive, because that has no place in the arts. For me, arts is all about collaboration. And I can tell you, you're asking who was one of the favorite people that ever crashed a performance.
No, that's what he wanted to know.
I all I can tell you is that I can really remember people that opened up stages for me. Like, for example, there's a great artist who no longer lives in Mississauga, but his name is Chris Smith. And he was an EMI recording artist for years, one of Anthony's colleagues. And I can recall when I was 24, 23, he would let me come up on stage with him and backup sing. And I would backup sing while he had Don Brideup, who was an Emmy Award-winning pianist, on keys with him. And he'd have Phil Pop-Up playing sax, and he would let me backup sing for him. And I remember that was an incredible experience, just to get on stage in a professional venue and build up those chops and get the confidence going. And then, last year, for example, when my album dropped, he saw the quality in the product. I'm a new artist, so it's hard to open those doors. And he took it upon himself to call Wave 94.7, which is a station that plays him. And he took it upon himself to say, look, this girl, I've performed with her, Heather Christine, you should play her music. You should give her a shot. And they didn't right away. And then they did.
Yeah.
And I will always eternally be grateful for that. And I will always admire artists that do that. And I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and certainly I think you can appreciate a lot of people in the artist community already look up to you. And so it's great that, and very inspiring that you said that your aim is to never be bitter and jaded. Because frankly, I'm bitter and jaded right now. I'm already bitter and jaded. I
feel like the arts is tricky. And like, you know what? No one owes us anything.
Right, that's
My
right.
parents always raised me with that like, Heather, no one owes you anybody. So I feel like it's an honor to make your living from the arts or to be involved in it at any level. So I always try to come for it from that standpoint. How lucky am I to be a Canadian artist, to have the opportunity to sing my own original music and to walk these stages. Yeah. I am blessed.
Right, 100%. And it is now time for rapid fire.
All right.
So Heather, how this works is we basically fire questions at you rapidly, hence the name, and you tell us the first thing that comes to your mind, and based on what you just said, I'm sure it won't be bitter and jaded answers.
I hope not.
Before we start, I will say that Matt and Heather are they're obviously amazing musicians, amazing artists, but they are genuinely even better people. And I say this all the time, and I say this when I'm talking about them, because they are. They're just the kindest, warmest people I know. And if you ever have the fortune of meeting them or working with them, it's definitely an honor. So
I agree.
Thank you for that. Yeah,
just so we're clear, this is not part of rapid fire, but
it's not. I needed to say it. It was.
He's just fanboying right now.
I am very much so.
I'll fanboy for you too.
Go ahead.
All right. So, would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Oh, I have to be honest with you. I'd rather be able to speak, as much as I love animals, every language in the world.
I agree.
I can speak.
Disappointed.
I'm sorry, little baby. I can sing and speak a little bit of a few languages, and I love to be able the opportunity to speak and people in different languages, and I think that would be an amazing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Superpower.
What is the last time you stayed up past 4 a.m?
Oh my God, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I suffer.
Are you able to tell us what you were?
Yeah, for sure. I suffer on and on from insomnia, which is
I see.
difficult.
Okay, so that's not fun.
Same here.
And it comes once in a while, but it is like the hardest thing for me in my life. But definitely when that happens, I just totally surrender.
When was the last time you were out past 4, having fun?
Oh my. Well, I can't tell you.
Oh, I see. We'll have to wait till Humble Badger After Dark.
I have my secrets.
Yes. After dark. All right. What was your last Halloween costume?
Oh my goodness. I was Glinda the Good Witch.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
And I was wearing a 1950-something rather vintage dress that was given to me by one of Mississauga's patron for the arts, Eileen Oswald. So, so that was fun. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was a ghost.
I don't dress up for Halloween because, I'm a grown man. So
everybody.
I don't get invited to those fun Halloween adult parties.
I wore it to work, man.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, I work from home, so if I wear it, my mother just gives me weird looks. And yes, my mother lives with me. So let's, in the interest of time, let's just go to the next segment, which is the trivia portion. This is a topic that Heather Christine, I'm sure, knows very well. The topic is jazz. Are you ready?
Well, I am a jazz pop fusion artist. So
That's
let's
right.
get that straight, first of all. I am not the traditionalist.
Right. So this is about jazz in general, and like all of the trivia segments, it's not about what you know or don't know. It's an opportunity for all of us to learn something. So, are you ready?
Yes, maybe if Anthony Panacci can send me some cheat notes from the studio. After all, he is a jazz humber prop.
That's right. That's right.
True.
So it's a music genre that originated in the African American communities of which major city in the United States?
I'm going to say New York.
The answer is New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans.
So you got the new part right.
Partial
So-
credit. Partial credit.
All right.
Partial credit for the new,
All
yeah.
right.
So it's New Orleans. What decade is considered the golden age of jazz?
Okay, I'm going to say the 30s.
Well, it says the 20s and 30s, so we'll give you
Hey,
half and half
Right.
makes one. Yeah, it did. She really wanted to ring that bell, folks.
I did.
I do want to thank our guest here today, Heather Christine. Thank you so much for coming on. You're a very inspiring artist and very talented as well. You can check her out at heatherchristine.ca. All of the information you need and to buy her music is on there. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank
Her album
you.
is Love in Color. And I want to thank my co-host for today, Mr. Senor Hio del Guapo. If you can figure out how to spell that, you can follow him at that in Instagram. He's a great cartoonist and singer. So thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
Good.
And I'd also like to thank our promotional partners for this episode at the Studio Paint Bar. It's an incredible venue in the heart of Port Credit in Mississauga. Check them out at thestudiopaintbar.ca. For any inquiries from anyone, please visit thehumblebadger.com for contact information or send us a message through social media. Signing up from the set here at Trax Ahead Studio, my name is Pablo Dawson. Wherever you are and whatever you do, remember to follow your passion.
Thank you for tuning in to the Humble Badger podcast. For more information, please visit thehumblebadger.com. The Humble Badger podcast is produced by the Pablo Dawson Company. Context matters. See you next time.